Okay.
Hi. All right. Hi, I'm Jen Landers. I'm the president of NDI Custom Homes. And if you follow me on my blog, you probably have read the Home Building FAQ series. So this is where we take a common question about home building and we try to answer it in 300 words or less. So I thought it'd be fun to take this to video and instead of the words, answer some questions under 3 minutes. So today I've invited a good friend of mine and a mortgage guru to answer some questions about the mortgage industry and some of the changes and things that they're seeing, especially in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. So I want to welcome Mike Zell. He's from Citizens One Mortgage, and he's got a ton of experience. When I have a question about mortgages, he's the guy I call. So Mike, welcome. It's so good to see you.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you again.
Yeah. So today I'm going to ask you a few questions and we're just going to try to get those answers in under 3 minutes. So the first question I have for you is, what is the mortgage market like these days? What do you see?
The mortgage business actually is doing quite well, as is the mortgage market. Some of the non-bank lenders have had some liquidity issues. But other than that, we're 170 billion strong in deposits, and we are very busy at this time. The market is adapting to the changes that we've had to, but overall, we're doing very well, and the market is doing very well.
Well, that is awesome news. What about the impacts that you've seen from COVID-19 on either qualifications or just in general with mortgage activity?
One of the biggest impacts we've seen is to determine if people still have their jobs or businesses and how they're doing. The qualifying restrictions have tightened up somewhat as far as qualifying ratios, but more or less in reserves. Reserves, although you do not need to disperse them at closing or during the transaction, reserves are there should something happen after the loan closes, such as a financial hardship, such as what we're in right now, so that you would have the money to bring forward to continue the mortgage payment and continue with the construction of your property. The reserves have been lowered from 60% of vested balances in 401ks, IRAs, and 70% in stocks down to a flat 50% of whatever the current statement sheet says for the current month or the current quarter, depending on that. So it's basically determined if the borrowers are still qualified at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the banks just need a little bit of extra verification that, even, in the next few months that someone is going to be able to pay their mortgage. Yeah, so I totally
That is correct.
That. So Mike, you have one of the most awesome construction lending programs I've ever seen. So where you can do a one-time close with somebody and you could actually lock in their permanent rate when you close their construction loan, which, I mean, years ago, you remember that was like unheard of. And so does that program still exist even in the times that we're in now?
There have been banks, big banks, that have temporarily discontinued the construction to permanent program. With Citizens Bank, that's who we are, it does exist. It is our own money, it's portfolio money. We lend, as you said, a one-time close. Basically, if you're buying a lot, you can roll the lot purchase into the construction loan. If you're building a tear down on your current residence, same thing. We'll pay off the mortgage on that, roll it into the construction loan. You can lock in your rate 60 days prior to the closing and then have that rate guaranteed from closing up to 18 months. So if you're to lock in today at an interest rate, you know that going out 18 months from the day of closing, that rate's still going to be there, regardless of what the market does.
That is so awesome, especially since rates are still so low. And it's just really such a great time to lock in and take advantage of that program. So Mike, we're going to drop in the comments below this video, we're going to drop your contact information so that anyone that needs more information or has any other questions for you, they can reach out to you direct. But I want to thank you for joining me today. This was so fun. I hope we can do this again soon, and I hope you stay well. But I'll see you.
Thank you, Jennifer.